A Kremlin report detailing the meeting held between President Putin and U.S. Vice President this past week shockingly reveals an American plea for Russian help in establishing an Earth-wide missile defense plan to protect our planet from an alien invasion expected in late 2017 after NASA's satellites revealed an incoming fleet of miles-wide UFOs that have entered our solar system. According to this report, the communication signals being passed between the giant asteroids 2010 SO16 and 2005 YU55 currently headed towards Earth, and which we reported on in our April 21 report Awakening Moon shocks scientists as massive asteroids near Earth, are identical to the deep space transmissions previously described by the United States National Security Agency, NSA, as confirming an intelligent extraterrestrial race of beings other than human. Most interesting to note in this report is the NSA release this past week of one of its most top-secret documents relating to these aliens titled Key to the Extraterrestrial Messages, where the 21 symbols used by these aliens in their communications seem to show that not one, but two distinct extraterrestrial are nearing our Earth. Equally important to note is that the NSA release of the shocking information that they have decoded the language of these aliens follows by mere weeks other U.S. intelligence agencies releasing once top-secret documents revealing that UFOs did, indeed, crash in Roswell, New Mexico, and alien bodies were discovered, and shortly before he was assassinated, President John F. Kennedy, 1917 to 1963, demanded his Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, give him all information and files related to UFOs and aliens, but which they refused to do. This report goes on to detail Putin's speculation to U.S. Vice President that our Earth may be nearing a scenario like that which occurred on April 4, 1561, when in the skies over Nuremberg, Germany, hundreds of UFOs engaged in a battle witnessed by thousands, and of which we can read as reported from those times. What was described as a war in the heavens, with a wide variety of craft ranging from spheres to spear-like cylinders to crosses and plates. The sky was apparently filled with the machines, clashing in battle for well over an hour. The battle was such that a winner was perceived as well. Spheroid UFOs were seen emerging from cylindrical motherships. At the conclusion of the battle, it seems a magnificent, black, spear-like supership of some kind came upon the scene. An ancient woodcut was created by Hans Glaser to document the event. To why these alien races may be coming to our Earth was revealed this past week when British Royal Astronomer, Lord Martin Rees, and Astronomer Royal for Scotland, Professor John Brown issued a joint statement warning that our human civilization has only a 50% chance of surviving to 2100 without suffering a man-made catastrophe. This report further states that Biden told Putin that the U.S. has stripped nearly all funding to their NASA space agency and has redirected billions of dollars to private spaceplane builders, such as the highly secretive Blue Origin rocket builder company, for the building of a massive US fleet of laser-firing manned and unmanned vehicles to patrol the outer spaces of our Earth's atmosphere, but whose work will remain unknown to the American public because private companies, even if government-funded, are not bound under the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, law. Note, this past week the U.S. Navy announced their first successful test of laser weapon. Important to note about these shocking events are that they were possibly pre-warned about during the early 1980s, when during the administration of then-President Ronald Reagan, 1911 to 2004, the Washington Post newspaper carried a story on their December 30, 1983, front page titled Possibly as Large as Jupiter, Mystery Heavenly Body Discovered, and which, in part, said, a heavenly body possibly as large as the giant planet Jupiter and possibly so close to Earth that it would be part of this solar system has been found in the direction of the constellation Orion by an orbiting telescope aboard the U.S. infrared astronomical satellite. Soviet-Russian reports on this U.S. discovery were even more shocking after their revealing that during a visit with General Secretary Gorbachev during the 1985 Geneva summit, Reagan said to the Soviet leader, "I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask, is not an alien force already among us?" In his last speech before the United Nations, in 1987, Reagan further stated how quickly our differences would end if we were facing an alien threat, echoing the warning given 23 years earlier by the great American World War II Commander General Douglas MacArthur, 1880–1964, who in a 1955 speech at West Point warned, "The nations of the world will have to unite, for the next war will be an interplanetary war. The nations of the Earth must someday make a common front against attack by people from other planets." To how prevalent UFOs have been reported over the skies of Earth, the world learned this past week when the giant US data firm InfoChimps launched a dataset revealing over 60,000 sightings of these crafts have been recorded so far. To the most important of these UFOs, however, and which on this Easter Sunday over 1 billion Christians await the return of, is the massive New Jerusalem predicted in the apocalyptic Bible book Revelation, which it is said will descend from the heavens, and from its massive walls containing 12 gates, and shining like gold, the gods will return to earth, again.